Welcome to the West Boylston Board of Selectmen Sewer Commissioners meeting, February 6, 2019. First item on the agenda is public comments. Hearing none. Next item on the agenda is roll call. The only person that's not here tonight is Pat. All other members are here. And approval of minutes for January 16, 2019 regular session.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
And I abstain.
Abstain. Opposed? Okay, next is review and vote to approve warrants.
I make a motion to approve warrants for the period covering January 17, 2019 to February 6, 2019. Town payable warrants FI 2019, 30, 31, and 32. Sewer FI 2019, SC 16. Payroll P/R 2019-15. MLP number 21 and school FY 2019-S12.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next, we'll jump down to new business. We have a public hearing at 7:15, so request for a common victuals license for Nola Cajun Kitchen, 340 West Boylston Street. If you'd like, you can come up, sir.
How you doing?
Yeah, you can take a seat right there. You want to tell us a little about the business?
Yes, Nola Cajun Kitchen is strictly focused on new Cajun food. And I noticed that here in West Boylston and also in Worcester around this area, they're on any Cajun concept. So I think it's a great concept to bring into the town of West Boylston. Most of the Cajun food is on a spicy side. So we'll be introducing the po' boy, the fry items, the crawfish, the fried oyster, the blue crab. The crawfish and the blue crab we'll be bringing in from Louisiana. They're going to air freight to Providence, and we'll pick it up from there. The rest of the items are coming from either U.S. Food, PFG, and some are coming from West Boylston Seafood.
Okay, when do you plan on opening?
Well, I plan to open hopefully, as soon as possible in March sometime.
Yep, go ahead, John.
Is there any indoor and outdoor seating or mostly to go?
It's good. Inside there's Zito have a counter. One side have 6 bar stools, and then on the front have 4. So we're going to keep it like that. And they're probably like 2 tables in the middle, so it's about 18. But mostly I think it's going to be takeout, because it's not really a space where you can really sit and eat. So I believe mostly going to be takeout.
And do you know what hours you have yet?
We're going to be closing on Monday for now. We're going to open Tuesday from 11 to 9, Tuesday through Thursday. And then Friday and Saturday is to 10 o'clock. And then Sunday is 12 to 6.
Best of luck to you.
Do you own the property or are you renting it?
No, I rented from Mr. Sparrow.
Okay, and how long of a lease?
The lease is 3 year with a 2-year option.
Okay. And was there anything else that attracted you to this area besides not having this style
Well,
restaurant?
I live like on Whippoorwill, which is just on the other side.
Okay.
And this is a lot closer for me. And, I want to do something that is close. My last job was a director of food and beverage for Hilton in Marlboro. So that kind of drive, and, so I think that within, it's a lot closer, it's convenient, especially during the winter, so.
Have you ever owned your own business before?
Yes, I currently have 2 Vietnamese restaurant in Merida, Mexico.
Oh.
It's been open for a year now, and we're the only pho place in the Yucatan. So our goal is to, in the next 3 or 4 years is to expand throughout Mexico. So the concept here with NOLA is the same thing, you know, that we plan to expand throughout West Walton, Worcester area. So,
Will you be working there yourself, or?
yes.
Okay, and then you'll hire other people, or?
Yeah, because the first year is very hard.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in the hotel and restaurant for the last almost 30 years now.
Okay.
You know, so the first year is very hard, very difficult. So, and I would say 95% of the restaurant fail in the first year. So my first year is mostly, it's just, I'm gonna make sure that the food and the service are there. You know, because you can have great food and you have horrible service, you're gonna lose customer.
Right.
Yeah. So both have to be going hand in hand. So it will be myself and my wife. And if it does pick up, then my son will come in and help us. You know, but I don't, you know, like I say, it's, the place been empty for the last 6 years, so I don't know what's gonna happen, you know, but I think for me, it's a big investment, but it's an investment I'm willing to take. You know, and just from talking to the town and talking to the people when I went in, filed paperwork, seemed like everyone is excited. So I'm excited, you know, with the concept.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Is there a takeout window?
No,
So everybody's gonna go inside and get it?
exactly, yes.
How many parkings are there?
Parking, right now, originally they had like 3, but they're all the parking on the side. Yeah, so there's, he owned that whole, it's a huge place for, you know, for parking, yeah.
So do you think they will park in the plaza and then walk?
I'm sorry?
Do they park in the plaza and then walk?
Oh, that, I don't know, yeah.
I think he actually owns the property behind the plaza, behind the,
Oh, right behind the building is his.
yeah, in the property behind it, it's his
Yeah, and
too.
all the way in the back and all the way on both sides.
Oh, so all the parking to
All
the
that
right of
property
the store.
It's a big piece of property.
Oh, okay,
is huge.
great. Okay, so, do I hear a,
Make a motion to, give him his license and good luck to him.
I'll second it.
Thank you so much.
have a motion, a second, any other discussion? Hearing, oh,
Yeah.
yes, no?
Did we have anything from the chief?
The chief had no problem. There were no issues with anyone.
So here I have I finished the menu, so.
We'll bring it up.
You can get,
Yeah.
So you got prices on it?
I still have
Thank
to, itemize out the,
We're gonna call you in the morning to get it.
okay, so I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay,
Good luck, my friend.
good luck.
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Next item is a request for entertainment license for Recess 216 West Boylston Street. You folks here, yes?
We've been here a few times now.
Yeah, and you're getting closer.
We're getting closer. Thank you guys so much.
I bet you can't wait.
We are excited. We are excited.
Okay, so this is for an entertainment license. Exactly, Nance, what's this to cover?
They're gonna tell you it's for them to do all of their, games inside.
They need a license, okay.
Everything is inside, there's nothing outside.
Correct. Okay, you guys want to give any update on your progress, or when you're thinking you're gonna open? We saw the videos, I saw.
Rock, paper, scissors. All right, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. There you go. So, we're about 3 weeks out from an opening date. We did schedule a ribbon cutting that we'll discuss off camera later. But we're just about done. We've had all the rough installation inspections come through. So now we're just waiting on final inspections. Yeah, I don't know.
We have the bar equipment coming in this week, the walls are done. The tail end of this project is coming upon us. I mean, naturally, we know we don't open until we get all of our permits and everything like that. But we are getting to that point where we'll be pretty close. We're pretty confident by the end of the month. We will just be waiting on whatever it is that we are not in compliance with, or just the final paperwork to get everything done. We have The rest of the bar equipment coming in this week, that should be set up.
Tomorrow.
And- Yeah, tomorrow, and then from there, it's just, educating the staff, getting them in, trained, getting uniforms on them, and a couple of soft openings, and then what we do from there is, we've still been trying to debate that. We might, quite honestly, not announce a grand opening and just open. We've been tinkering with that idea, strictly because of the amount of feedback we got from one very small article that was done. It kind of hit us pretty quickly, and it's great to see any business idea you come up with, have that much excitement generated by it. However, it's one thing to see, 25 people see you fall on your face. It's another thing to see 300 people see you
Right.
fall on your face.
Right.
It was certainly a humbling week.
Yeah.
In the past week since
Just-
the article.
If you could just tell us again what the business is?
Well, gentlemen and ladies, we will be opening the first of its kind, which is an indoor, outdoor play center. We're taking all the games that you would play in the backyard during a cookout, the stuff that you did as a kid that you played outside, we're bringing that all inside. We have a small replica of a well-known baseball park that will house our wiffle ball, kickball, and dodgeball leagues and games. We have an area that we are dedicating to TD10 pin, which is a hybrid of throwing footballs at bowling pins. And that will cover up a third of our space. So you've got the field that takes a third of the space, the TD10 pin that takes a third of the space, and the rest of it will be all the games you can think of in jumbo size. We're doing Battleship, that's 6 feet tall. We're doing Connect 4, that's about 8 feet tall. We're doing Jenga, that's about 5 feet tall. We've got human foosball tables. We've got cornhole. We've got darts. We've got things that we don't even know we have yet as far as games go. Will be there for us to kind of make sure that our guests have an enjoyable time. In addition to that, we are doing mostly local craft breweries, featured both on tap and in can to help promote the local brewery. We've been told most recently that, Central Massachusetts is the Napa Valley of craft beers. And we're just trying to make sure that we can provide that to all of our customers and guests that come in. So that's kind of, in a gist, what it is we're doing, and all we've gotten from people is like, that is such a crazy, great idea. I wish I had thought of it. And, personally, I'm glad they didn't.
So when people come in, do they pay a fee?
There will be both fee and memberships. So there'll be a straight fee to come in. 2 reasons for that. Number one is basically to keep, anytime you put an admission on something, it keeps, for lack of a better term, the riffraff out.
Yeah.
We're not looking to be the last bar that, that closes at 2 a.m. We're not looking for any, to be serving shots or anything of that nature. We just want people to enjoy craft beer and games. And that's kind of what we're trying to put together there.
And the stadium that what is it, Yankee Stadium?
Yeah, that would do so well out here, and yeah.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, we're actually gonna sell eggs. We're gonna sell eggs, as a matter of fact. We might need that license to
I
be
thought you were doing the
permitted.
Royals.
No.
Any other, John?
So, outside, there's a jungle gym or something like that, what is that for?
That is for another area of the building. It's called Futures. It's a school for children with autism, and they have an outdoor playground that they're building and putting up inside a fenced area.
Okay.
I can't speak too much more to that, but.
But it's funny that you asked, because we have been asked.
We've been asked.
And we've been asked, is that, they're like, who's playing on this? And we're like, no.
That's what
anybody drinking and going
That's
on
the question
places.
we've gotten from everybody.
Yes.
Well, us too.
got too, yeah.
We met with the owner of Futures last week or the week before, and we mentioned that was a
Happening to us.
misconception.
Yeah, it was a misconception on our part.
And so that's why she put the sign out there that said Future Home of Futures, and, yeah.
Well, as long as people are
There's a
talking.
sign, yeah, there's a sign up there.
Yeah, there's a
I
Any
can see
other
it.
comments?
So the parking is all in the plaza, right?
All in that area, yes, sir.
So nobody goes Shrine Ave?
Shrine Ave
Side
should not be
doors?
affected
No.
by our,
With us being
Our
on the
location.
right-hand side of the building, I think we'd be way over occupancy if we had people worrying about
Do you
parking.
discourage the people comes to your store, you don't park on the other side?
we're not open yet, so we haven't had that
Yeah.
problem. But the other.
That was one of the concerns they did raise.
Yeah, so Ultimate Obstacles, my uncle owns Ultimate Obstacles, so Dave Jagier and I have obviously a great relationship, so we'll work together to ensure that we don't have those issues. If those issues arise, we can kind of take them at hand. But again, him being family, we've been working with him very closely. I don't think that we're going to have those issues. There is a lot of parking.
Huge parking.
There is a lot of parking. The beauty of the location is Ultimate Obstacles and us will be open relatively the same hours, but Futures
Everything
everything else will be
Closed.
opposite.
Yeah.
So the parking, I really don't think will be an issue. Yeah.
What are the hours of operation?
We're still toying with them for the most part, Monday through Thursday, 4 to 11, Friday, 4 to 12, Saturday, 12 to 12, and Sunday, 12 to 10. But those will fluctuate. Those might fluctuate a little bit on the
On the
early
earlier
ends.
side, yeah, not on the later
The
side.
later sides, we're not looking to do the 2 a.m. thing. We don't want to do that for the town. We don't want to do that for ourselves. We don't want that
For the
last
staff.
call.
Yeah,
We don't want the
wanna
last
do the
call.
last
for-
call, please.
Yeah.
I did see that you posted that you had like a job fair night or afternoon. How did that go?
Awesome.
We have hired our first 25. Our
Are they
first
from
25.
this area?
We have them from all over the area, but yes, there are, I would say, 5?
Yeah.
4 or
there's-
5. We picked up quite a few people who used to work at the old Finders and Keepers. And I would say out of those 24, 25, so a couple of high school students. So we do have quite a few, but as any of you know, I mean, once you open, you lose a third.
Right.
So we will be hiring again, and I'm sure that we'll be picking up a few more as time goes on. Because right now, once we did our interviews were probably about a month and a half to 2 months away from our opening.
Yeah.
So we didn't get as many people because the instantaneous, they want a job tomorrow, so it's one of those things. We do believe that once we get to a point where we are open and we actually see how busy we are, we will be adding the staff, and a lot of that will really translate into not only, actually, I should say this, I had a gentleman who we're planning off a position to today that sent me a resume who lives in town. He's an older gentleman, retired, just looking to do something fun for a living, and I mean, the way our staff kind of went, we have, we really have the gamut on our staff, from
Very
young to
eclectic
old,
group,
very
yeah.
an eclectic group. Because once again, we don't know what we're going to get for clientele. We assume what it's going to be, but we really kind of want to make sure we have somebody that everybody can relate to when they're in there, because at no point do we want to just be a youngster center. We actually, we want the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and we're planning on talking to a couple of the local senior centers to work things out, that during the day they can come out and play some games and stuff
Giant
like that.
cribbage.
So, yeah, giant cribbage,
Will you be working there yourselves?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you get the video done? Was that a fluke, or did you?
Yeah, it was a fluke.
It was an absolute
It was a fluke.
Because that seemed like that was a
It
great
was.
PR thing for you guys.
I'll be honest, it was a very humbling video. We've been talking about this idea for almost a year now, and we wrote it on the back of a Keno ticket back in April. And now to see it, what we're doing now is obviously very humbling, but to see the response that we've gotten from that video, that was sort of an impromptu, hey, you guys seem like you might be good in this video, so let's just do it. Let's try it. And to be now the most watched video on Mass Live ever is pretty exciting.
Knowing they're limited, and I shouldn't say limited because they have a very good audience, but they have a limited audience in the Central Mass area, and to see the response that it got from that, I mean, our Facebook page went up over 12 times what we had. We woke up the next morning to 70-something emails.
Wow.
We just really didn't, we thought we had a great idea. I mean, once again, no one wants to put an idea forward that's stupid.
I'm not gonna put my house on it. It's
Right.
not a good idea, right?
We thought it was good, and it just, I think it facilitates a very, very much needed need for entertainment in the realm of doing something other than going to the local bar and just drinking, or whatever, the movie theater, or whatever the case may be. I think we offer a great alternative to that, and once again, I do think it transcends, from 16 to 60, 80s and up. And our goal is to make sure that anybody who still wants to play a game will have an ability for them to play a game.
And will you have other things besides beer? I'm
Yep.
assuming
We are full liquor, so we have beer, wine, and liquor, but we also will have non-alcoholic items. We have frozen drinks that will be non-alcoholic. You can buy them virgin style, as well as, you know, the sodas. We're working with Polar. Polar is gonna be our distributor. We're not going Coke or Pepsi or anything like that. We tried to make sure that everything we did started kind of from West Boylston and then just worked out.
Yeah.
That's our goal anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, we know the video wasn't planned because neither of you knocked down a pin in the football.
No! Did you see that?
You know what? That was pretty embarrassing, but.
That was at least close.
I can't believe they're gonna give us a license.
I know, right? I thought we missed the boat.
We haven't voted yet, but. Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the entertainment license.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Yeah, hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Good luck.
Even though you missed it.
Thank you so very much. You guys have been great to work
Yeah, great to work
with.
with.
We hope that we're a staple in the community for many, many years.
Right,
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
very much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
see you guys soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, thank you.
Okay, we can go to the 7:15 public hearing. Raj, do you want to?
Yeah. Notice is hereby given that the Board of Selectmen of the Town of West Boylston will hold a public hearing on the application for an all-alcoholic beverage pouring licenses for Harris Traven LLC, 171 West Boylston Street. The public hearing will be held on Wednesday, February 6, 2019 at 7:15 PM in the Selectmen's Meeting Room 210 of the Town Hall, 140 Worcester Street, West Boylston, Mass. All interested persons, groups and agencies are invited to attend.
Okay, you folks, other folk, you can come up. You can tell us a little about the business, where it is, what you're gonna do?
We're opening up an American-style pub, again, in place of Finders. I worked there for over a year.
Okay.
We found an opportunity to open, Richard and I, to open our own place now, and to call it Ari's.
Okay.
Full bar, restaurant, we're gonna update things in the building.
Is the menu gonna be the same, or are you gonna change?
It's gonna change.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut it back.
Okay, yeah. Burgers and things like that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
So my background is that Ari and my son play hockey together, and in traveling, I own a series of businesses, and I've always thought it'd be kind of a fun thing to try to be in the restaurant business, and so Ari, over the last couple of years, had said at some point where she works might come available for sale. That process accelerated into a Chapter 7 process in December. We've worked with the trustee and the landlord to transition the business, what's left of it, to us. So we want to go in and we're going to refurbish the inside, some of the outside, change the menu here or there, and make a go of it. So
Do you have
we're
a
very
plan,
excited.
do you have a plan opening?
We're trying, early March. The facility's been operating for I don't know how many years. So it's probably about 2 to 3 weeks worth of work that needs to get done, and we plan to actually start that this week. We got permission from everybody to do that, so.
Okay, any question?
So there's some signs in the building for an auction in the window, is that gone, or there's still?
They're coming up, we've talked to the trustee, we're buying everything, and one bulk thing has been agreed to by the trustee.
There's no more auction?
So there'll be no more auction, and that process, this is with the state, I think it goes official on the 24th of February, where we purchased everything inside the building.
That's what the auction was for the things inside?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Another gentleman owns the building.
Correct. Any other comments? Yep.
What kind of hours do you think you're gonna open? Have we gotten that far?
11 a.m.,
Okay, so you do lunches?
Still lunches,
Still
yeah.
lunches into the evening?
yes.
Till 1 or something?
Well, I'm gonna say 12.
Okay.
I think the town of West Boylston is, I like to keep it the way, nice and quiet.
Do you have any ideas of changing inside? What it
Yes.
looks like?
Yes.
So you're talking some major inside changes?
So major, I will just tell you, so there's one area we're gonna add booths that just have kind of tables and chairs. We'll change the lighting. Some of the lighting is a little too dark, maybe. We're taking out the soda bar that's in the back left, right? We're going to finish all the floors, paint all the walls, redo the flooring in the back bar area, it's just kind of worn out. You'd probably redo the entrance.
Yes.
A little bit, so it's easier to get in and out of. Just want to, kind of spruce it up and,
Update.
yeah, maybe a little update, yeah.
Ari, I know there was entertainment there before. Are you planning?
Yes.
You are
Yes.
planning on
We
doing
are
that
Thursday,
too?
Friday, Saturday,
Nice.
7 to
Okay.
9, 9:30.
You'll still have popcorn? You don't know yet?
You
Okay.
still have popcorn?
Okay, any
That's
other
okay.
comments? Yeah.
If that's what it takes, you gotta,
No, you'll get it either way.
Popcorn's really good.
So, this is an alcoholic license, is the
Well-
entertainment license after?
Yeah, we'll do the alcohol first.
This is for the liquor license, correct, and they're also requesting a common vic and an entertainment.
Okay.
Raj, do you have anything?
Yeah, I do. So you are before the planning board. I think, you'll, before start the restaurant, you will comply all those planning board requests.
yes, we're working on that, and I don't think it's appropriate tonight, but we have all that
No.
information for you, and.
Yeah, I'm not
talked to the
asking for
engineer.
those.
Yes, yeah, and we've talked to the building inspector, and I think I already talked to the fire chief, so there's some things, some investment that just has to go in the building, because the former owner didn't do it, which is not a problem at all.
Okay, any other comments? Anybody from the public have any comments?
Mr. Woodrow, just one quick question.
Go ahead.
Ari, can you just tell the town, because we are on TV and it's good for the people to know, a little bit about your interest in it and your background, just so they have an idea, because I know you don't live in West
Sure.
Boylston, but
Right,
I think
I
it
live
would
in
help
Princeton.
the town.
Sure. My name's Ariana, and I've been the general manager there. I worked for them for McCormick and Martell's, and then I ended up taking over Finders. I've worked very closely with Kevin and Kathy, with the Board of Health. I've been there for over a year. I love it. I've met a lot of great people, and I really like the town, and I like being a part of it.
Okay.
Definitely want to bring my swing to it now.
Okay, in the public, no other concerns? Okay, a motion to
I
close the
make a
public
motion
hearing.
to close the public hearing.
Have a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, do I hear a motion?
I motion that we give Ari her license as
for
she has asked for
alcohol beverage
alcohol
pouring? Yep.
pouring,
Okay,
beverage
Second.
pouring.
have a motion and a second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, and Nancy, we didn't get a chance to ask, everything's all set
Everything's
in
all
regards
set.
to the license
They've
board?
gone through everything. They came in, they met with the treasurer collector, they met with the building inspector, the fire chief. Everything's all set.
Now, do we need to pull this license till everything else is taken care of, or no? we
They
can
will
give-
not get the license until I get a certificate of occupancy from the building inspector, and then they pay their fee and get their licenses.
Okay. And the next is a request for a common victuals license and an entertainment license.
So moved.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay,
Good luck.
good luck.
So much.
Thanks very much.
So you got things for her?
Do you have a menu?
We got our menu tonight. Okay,
Yes, please. You can bring it tomorrow.
Perfect.
Okay? I need those as well. You can bring those tomorrow. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Nice to see you.
thank you, have a good night. Next item is update on $150,000 grant for the fire department. And I see the chief here. Tell us a little about your restaurant. Who's gonna give us the update? You or Nancy?
Well, we can start. We, as you know, we received the $150,000. We didn't realize that we actually need to request the funds. We learned of that the beginning of July. We touched base with administration and finance, and they emailed me a contract. I signed the contract, I sent it in. The only downside of this is that all the work has to be done by June 30th of 2019. I reached out to Rep. O'Day, and he was going to contact them. I guess it's a very involved process to get an extension on this work. So when we discovered all that, we sat down, we had a meeting with John McMillan. He came in, we ran everything by him on what we could accomplish within this time frame realistically. And he ran us through a process, but the chief is here tonight. We want to make sure that everybody's on board because we need to then decide a construction schedule. Because what we're going to do is we're going to get like schematics that we then go to town meeting with.
Well, I think more important than the schedule, we need to know what we want to do to the building before.
Right.
We
And
don't want an architect to just go there and say, this is what needs to be done. We need to rip the roof off. We need to add, another story. I don't know.
We're going to meet with the fire chief, and there's a number of sub-bids that we have to get, whether it's test borings, they're going to meet and to look at code compliance, what we have, what we need, what are our needs, and that's the first phase that John McMillan will do with Tom.
Is this going to be within the,
I was told,
sorry,
I was thinking maybe we can discuss this here, but shouldn't this really go to the building committee?
I was gonna say,
I know the grant.
would it be better if you come in, we have a building committee meeting Wednesday night. If you can come in Wednesday night and ask John McMillan to come in, and we can discuss what we want to do. We'll get it done as fast as possible. So I know this grant is a deadline and stuff like that, but maybe we could talk to the building committee first. Explain to them what you want to do, and John could give his, ideas, and maybe then we can go from there.
Okay, well, John was nice enough to at least give us the guidelines on what we could accomplish with a certain amount of funds without having to trigger off a full RFP. We are still gonna be required to go out and get 3 bids from architectural firms to bid on this type of work. And before we went through all this process and spent everybody's time and money, we wanted to kind of know, are we on this master plan? And I've reached out to the finance committee and, talked to my liaison with them, rebuilding my relationship with them to say, I've submitted my 10-year plan, I just want to know, are we on this 10-year plan? I want everybody to be on the right page before we go and spend $150,000. The thing that they were cautioning us with is, if we do some investigation and we find things that they find bad, they might say that, well, those need to be taken care of right now. And I just don't want to be in a position where I don't have the funds to take care of any situations that I've had. Like when we did our first evaluation of our building 5 years ago, we had the ceiling material tested, we had the window caulking around the windows we were going to replace done, and we took care of those. And like the DEP told us, you have this material, you're better off leaving this stuff that's firm and intact, leave it there, but places where it's flaking off and cracked, you have a due diligence to take care of that. And I think the same thing would hold true with some of these things. And again, we're up to, I think it was $30,000 for this preliminary study. We can also jump out of that, and we can have the hazardous study done, where they come and they do core drillings of the property, they come inside, they do a full assessment of the materials in the building. So they do core sampling, take samples from the ceiling, take samples from the window caulking, go through, make breaches in the walls, look at the electrical, they do an update of everything from there. Again, we're working with a 55-year-old, 60-year-old building, we're gonna have issues, and that's why we just wanted to put it, before the board. And again, we just didn't know who to go to first, because this money kind of just came to us all of a sudden. We didn't know we were even getting it. And they're like, well, why didn't you start spending it? And I said, wait a minute. You just can't start spending state money without a contract.
And that's what Nancy was nice enough to do, was get us a contract, which the town signed, they send it to the state signs, you get a contract back with 2 signatures on it, us and them, then you can start spending the money. And 6 months is a short window for us to try to accomplish all these tasks. Now, we can try to do what we can in this time frame, but
That's
we're
fine.
gonna be
5 months.
5 months.
Right, because we're in February. What exactly does the grant cover?
It
Just
basically
architectural?
says retrofit of the fire station that was previously a public safety complex.
And Nancy has reached out and asked questions, with this committee and said, well, what does this mean? If we find something, can we use this money to abate
Correct.
some problem we might have?
Okay.
We
She
still haven't
she still
got an
hasn't
answer
answered that.
I was
So we've
surprised,
been kind
surprised.
of, stuck waiting for answers, but we don't really have a lot of time, but we just don't want to get stuck by going in and committing this money, and then we're not going to be on the docket for another 10 years. I mean, I have no idea where we are in the scheme of things. The town just took over 2 big projects. We haven't even closed on the senior center yet, and I just don't know where we are in the scheme of things.
Well, as far as the FISP, we have never even discussed anything about the fire station as far as I read.
Well, I think, Beck, we
Wait,
said,
what?
when we said that one of the projects is gonna be to do some work on, after the police station left. We did, but we never, no detail
Right.
about exactly what we wanna do.
So I think if we meet Wednesday night, have you there, and we'll ask John McMillan to come there, and then we'll start a discussion about that. Now, one question about, like, the core drilling, can that be part of that grant?
Yes,
Okay, good.
That would be site evaluations.
Right. Yeah.
Just like we do the internal one. And some of these other studies that they do is they'd come in and they'd look at our needs. What are your needs? What are your future needs?
Correct.
And that would be, we talked about bunking and, a woman's shower and a, men's shower. We just don't have those things right now. Those would be things that would be done now. And then they were asking questions, well, where would you plan to live while we were doing this renovation? Because it's gonna cost you a lot more if you plan to live inside the building while you try to do the work. If you could live somewhere else, then the work will cost less. And I said, well, that'd be a town decision, but my feeling was, we get a trailer and we put that in the backyard for the crew to stay in. Since it's minimal staffing at this point, it's 2 guys, 2 people, 2 firefighters, they can come in and out. From the backyard, yeah, they can make do with a microwave in the bay. I mean, we'll live for a while, but again, if it will help expedite the work, that's what I'd lean towards.
Well, I will have to talk at the building, but I don't know if they mean, is everything gonna be out? Trucks and everything, so they
Oh,
can...
no, we got a pretty good seal between the 2 buildings, and every time they come in, the building is in structurally good shape.
Yeah,
Certain sections of it, they need to do these evaluations and say, are we better off, getting rid of it? They were gonna look at our, the handicap requirements that would be required
Yeah.
for the building to make that up to code. And, that was another big thing was, what do we do to bring this building up to code compliance? Safety-wise and building-wise.
Right.
And it just sounds like a lot of money and I think it'll go fast, but again, we just.
It doesn't sound like a lot of money to me. I mean...
Well,
Can we, I'm wondering, Nancy, since we have 5 months, can we have Repo Day
I've already spoken to
start the
him.
process of asking for an extension?
I asked him to reach out to this Sheila woman in A&F, and I gave him her phone number, and I spoke with him. He was in the office last Friday. We went over a few things, and he's going to begin the process.
Because I guess you already know it, and I'm sure until Repo Day saw us, 2 weeks ago, and said, did you guys get that money yet? We said, no. Well, we didn't know we were supposed to ask for it.
Well, he said...
We would have got it,
That's what he said. He's going to make the argument that he didn't even know that we had to ask for
we
it.
would have got it 6 months ago
Right.
and we would have started the process maybe, so.
like I said, we had heard rumors that we had gotten it.
Right.
We never saw a document come across anybody's desk to say, here, you've
Got the money.
officially gotten it.
Right.
See, are we going to use only this $150,000, or this will lead to a bigger money? At this time, you are spending this money to evaluate the building, right? That's all.
Evaluate the building, hopefully we could get
Some work
updated architectural plans of the building. We have old sets, we have some revised sets, and then they'd look at that and they'd do some new drawings for us, hopefully out of that. But once you sink into that, it costs money, because you got,
So if we do the architect, down the road, can we use the same architect plan? No, right?
it depends how long we're looking at.
That's what,
Every 3 or 4 years, there's code changes, whether it's the building code, the fire code, they all take changes. We just adopted a new building code, so, we went from,
Things could be, I mean, John, we've done it, right? We've looked at old plans and then they could be updated, there'd be a cost if it doesn't happen, but I think without a doubt, it's gonna cost more money than 150.
I think, for the time being, we are thinking of spending this money. Is that right? If I put it like that?
They what?
The 150?
150.
Well, we have to, if we don't spend it by June, the state takes it back.
So, the reason is, when we started talking, this one, and we are saying, we are doing some work on the fire station, then, everyone will be, the entire town will be saying, hey, these people have started another fire station renovation.
Well, that's why we're gonna go to the building committee and see if
So,
to discuss it at the
So
building
that's-
committee. But there
that's
has
one
been, I mean, we could look back, there has been discussion of when the police station moved out, that the plan would be someday down the road, that we would need to do work on the fire station.
and this is the second or third time that we've looked at the building. When the police were there, I have, plans and slideshows of what they wanted to do then,
I know.
and then, times have changed, the police moved out. Now, all that's kind of been pushed aside, now we're back to another one. And we just want to make sure everybody's on board before we go spending this money, because even to get the RFP, it's going to take us time to, one, write them, solicit 3 bids. Now, I've started to reach out to different architectural firms. I reached out to Sterling, who did they use? I reached out to Chief Konchanowski, who lives in town, they're doing a building renovation out in Dudley, who did they use? Now, just to build a list, because again, we're trying to just solicit a few companies, we don't want to send it out to 100, because it all takes time and money to get this RFP out there.
The only thing I could say is, I don't know how we can ask architects anything, John, tell me if I'm wrong, until we know
Yeah, no,
what we wanna do.
Well,
We can't just say.
that's what John
Right.
was nice enough to walk us through, was,
Okay.
this is where you start, because I didn't know who to go to. I was talking to Tony DeLuzio, he's all eager to come in and buy us sell us a fire station, but no, I don't need a Tony DeLuzio yet. I need an architectural, and I need some core drillings and some hazmat evaluations of the.
And that we need
facility.
to have it rechecked, there's no question.
I think that's where we're gonna start. We're gonna start, with evaluation. You gotta start there. And I think that's what John McMillan was talking about.
I think it's important that the town realizes this was a grant. And I know we said it in the beginning. So if the $150,000 we can use to good use in this building, then my feeling is the building committee also needs to agree with us. But I think because it's a grant, we could benefit, we should use it. I know it's rushed, but I think that's a great idea to come to that meeting and have that committee, the FISC committee also voice. But I think it's important to let the town know that this was grant money. This is not going to be costing, at this point, anything to the town.
And also, you gotta use it or lose it.
Right.
And I think that's exact, but I'm sure every resident, including us sitting here, we know that this 150 is only the start.
It is.
But that's why we need to.
Because this isn't buying one nail, this isn't buying one
Exactly.
2x4.
Right.
Right.
It's doing a lot of preliminary work.
Which we
for the
need to
things
get
that we
done.
can do.
Right.
And some of these things, I think, we're on top of,
But I
because
agree with
we've
this.
investigated them before, to have a company come in and
Right, do some of
evaluate it.
this
But I
stuff.
said, I don't need that right now, because I've already had it evaluated. And we know that these things needed to be taken care of, and that's when we did it.
Yeah, but I agree, if they're gonna give us the money, we're gonna have to use.
Again,
what
we'll
we
do our
can.
best to do what we can, and I think, so far, it's I think the rough phase was gonna be about $30,000
Yes.
for this preliminary. The last quote I got to do a building study of the material was about $5,000 to have that done. So I have those two things in place because we had looked at that prior to the last abatement. And I said, well, I don't need another study. I've already got one done, but we have this one, I think it was from 2017, so it's still legit that we can probably get it for roughly that time frame. And those would be the things we start with. So we could probably get through at least 50 of this. And then I think the drawing part would take a lot of money.
Nancy, anything else?
The one thing that we don't have to do is we don't have to do a survey. John recommended we also do a survey. We have a survey that we did, I don't know how many years ago, about 8 years ago. I showed him what we had, and he said that would work perfectly, so we don't have to spend money on a survey.
Yeah, that was a good survey too.
Yeah,
remember?
yeah.
Yeah, we spent some money on that, so.
Kinda shows the property and where we.
So you'll come Wednesday at, what
I'll
should we
be
make him, 7?
We wanna make it, 7:30, we probably got about half hour worth of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Okay, thank you.
7:20.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, thank you for your time and wish us luck.
Have a
Yeah,
good night.
that's good.
Thank you.
Discuss Tiverton Drive. What is that?
It's from me. The Affordable Housing Trust want to know if the Board of Selectmen would be willing to have, if we could have some preliminary work done, just for the site work, to see if it's even worth it to put sites and buildings up there, just to see if we can even make it work. If talking about graphical, if it fits on the property, if it's not gonna be $1 million just to clear the property and site the property. We just want your permission to look at the property, have somebody, an architect or engineer walk through the property and give us an idea if it's worth looking at to put some senior housing up there. Because we're having some issues with the 87 Maple Street. There's a lot of wetlands over there, so. We don't know how many wetlands are over here. We don't know. Nancy, we did have a map from the solar company. I gave that a copy of it to the company for the engineer, so it's up to you guys. If you think it's,
I guess, I don't know, anybody have any comments?
How much money it will cost us?
it's not gonna cost you anything. This is
The engineers
The
are-
Affordable Housing Trust has the funds to do the engineering study.
To do this study.
But I think, we did go on, we did spend some money on the other affordable housing,
Maple Street.
Maple Street. Did they spend money last time?
Not from the town. From Affordable Housing Trust,
Yeah.
yes. We did spend some money on engineer, on the wetlands, but that's the right way
So
to do it.
do you think this will be the same amount of money?
I
Like
have no idea.
$10,000?
I have no idea. Like I said, it's worth it to see what you're going into up front, so if there's wetlands, if the engineer comes in and says it's gonna cost you so much money to build this thing, he found legend or something like that, it's not worth it, don't look at it.
Mr. Hadley, so they're looking to evaluate the actual property on Tiverton Drive to see if there's any potential
Correct,
to do something there in the future
for senior housing.
versus Maple Street because there are problems. Is that correct?
There's some wetland issues over there.
Okay.
It's not impossible to build over there, just be
Right.
very expensive.
I think it's logical to look at another site and see if there's any options.
And we just figured it might be a good area because of Angel Brook's right there, Hillside's right there. So, I don't know.
If it comes out and it says the land's good for it, I don't think it's the best place for a housing authority. Personally, because look where it is. It's away from everything. There's no way for people to walk. You can't go you can't walk on sidewalks. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess we have the land, I guess we can look at it, but I think if they say it's the best place, is it really, if the land's good, is it really the best place to build a
I just want
house?
everybody to understand how this process works. So we're gonna have a developer come in and do the development himself.
Right.
The town's not gonna be responsible for it. So we'd go up an RFP for development, and if he thought he had to put walking trails or sidewalks in the street or wherever it needs to be, but we've looked at, there's hardly any property in West Boylston to put a project on. And there's definitely a need for the project. I mean, there's senior housing.
Yeah.
There's a big need for it. We have no place to put it. So,
If it- yeah, again, I guess.
it's
it would
not,
have to-
it's not an ideal location, but, you know, you can make it one. You can make it a nice location. If it works out, we don't even know. Like I said, I just want to be able to go back to the board and say, the board of selectmen say it was okay for us to explore this option. Not necessarily do anything. Of course, once we explore it, we'll come back to the board and say, you know, they found it's usable or it's not usable, and we'll move on to something else.
Now, do we have any old plans from past things? No.
We had the solar farm.
Besides that, none of that other stuff never went.
The rubbish thing never got,
Never
any
did
plans.
plans or anything.
And, what was it? Something else up there. I can't remember what it was.
Is that land, is the town land or the, under the solar, the
No.
electric?
Top of it.
Town land.
So, do we need a motion, you believe, Nancy, just to
I think that would be.
let the
a good idea.
housing authority take a look at that property to see if it's a possibility for housing?
I'll make the motion, we can use it for a possibility for future affordable housing for seniors.
I'll second it.
Motion is second, any other discussion? Yeah, the only thing I'd say is that, I guess the motion is to see if,
Absolutely, absolutely. We're not
And
gonna-
then we can let the townspeople decide if
Absolutely.
that's the best location.
Absolutely, like I said, we have to start somewhere.
Okay. Motion is second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, report from the Town Administrative Search Committee. Pat, myself, and 3 other members have looked through the applications.
No, you and I.
I'm sorry, John, who did I say, Pat? I'm sorry, John, you weren't here last week. John and I and 3 other residents, we looked through the applications. We interviewed one gentleman the other day, and after that, the committee liked the person that we interviewed, but we've decided that we think the town should go, and we're recommending that the board go back out to repost the position to see what we get for applicants, because out of the number we received, there was only really 1 or 2 possibilities. So,
And one question that came up was, do we put till filled, posted till filled?
yeah, we had a big discussion on if we should do it till filled, and my concern was, and let's say the search committee sends three names to the Board of Selectmen, and before the next meeting, Nancy says, we just got an applicant today that is the best. So, I mean, it seems like it might be a never ending, so I think we have to put a date on it, I mean.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you need an end date. Can I ask how many, I don't need an exact number we received. I'm just curious, why do we think we'll get more now or different ones? Are other positions opened and people have moved?
I think we have people have moved, and people, at the time we posted, weren't there other postings
There were
going
3
on?
others, but
Yeah.
there are always,
There's always
there's
postings.
always postings out there.
So we're
Right.
just hoping to, I guess we're crossing our fingers, because the first batch, there wasn't really a lot of
Qualified.
qualified people, budgets, negotiations, some of the basics.
Can I ask if we got any feedback about salary? Was that anything to do
We
with it?
never talked to any of,
We
none of the
Okay.
the applicants never said anything, because we didn't put a salary in there, so,
No, but it's very easy for them to know the salary.
the current one.
Right. Sometimes it just makes a difference if somebody's, going to apply, maybe not in the town environment, but other areas that I've been involved in, so I was just curious.
Yeah,
if
we didn't put it in the
people-
posting, and
Okay.
like Nancy said, they could look
Right,
and
they
see
can
what the
find
last
out.
one made.
Right, right.
But-
So we're hoping for a whole new crop.
I would hope so.
So,
Didn't it take us 2 or 3 postings
2 times last
time? Right?
2 times,
Wasn't
yeah.
it twice?
It did, yeah.
So I'm assuming this isn't really all that unusual,
Oh,
Nancy?
no, it's not unusual.
Right,
So-
okay,
Rutland went out 3 times.
okay.
do we want
And
to
they just
go,
hired one, didn't they?
They did.
I saw.
do we want to go to,
April?
March 5th?
So, if we were to say, let's repost,
Okay.
before it reposts, how long would it be?
Depends on how you want to repost it. Do you want to go back and put it in the Beacon as we did before and on their website?
Yeah, I'd say both,
Okay.
the Beacon, their website, and any
Our
other,
website?
the town's website, the local newspaper, everything.
We never do the local newspaper.
Okay,
Basically, what you need to do is the Beacon, the publication itself, the hard copy, and their website. I can get it on their website tomorrow. I'm not sure what the deadline is for the next publication of the Beacon, sometimes in the wintertime.
Just looking.
so it would probably be, it comes out March 1st, the next one.
Yes. So you'd have to give
I
it,
remember reading once, there's a
you'd
deadline.
have to give it a month. Maybe, I think the last page,
I know, I'm looking, because
Yeah.
I remember seeing,
yeah.
like, they have to be submitted by, yada, yada, yada.
But is it on their
It'll be on
website?
It'll be on their website
So
right away. So how about,
I would be more worried about the website. I don't think,
For March,
Yes,
February 19th deadline,
perfect.
publication March 1st.
okay.
so we'll go March 1st, so how about
March
we
1st.
close at the middle of March?
March 15th.
March 15th or
Just
March?
give a March 30th. 15 days
Wouldn't
is,
go that.
No, but it's gonna hit it might hit the online in
I can get it online tomorrow.
a few days, so it's,
March 1st.
so by the time it hits, really by the time it hits the Beacon, it's old news.
Yeah.
People that are looking at are probably gonna search, but that'll be that one little push.
And that's
So-
2 weeks, if, like you said.
Yeah, then they have 2 weeks to, like, yeah,
And if somebody's interested and they see it.
they're gonna see it
they're-
online, I would
right,
think.
they're gonna go online.
Yeah, I'll go online.
And then we will, I don't know
We
if
keep the
there's,
same committee?
the,
And,
yeah.
Open
this-
it, yeah.
I think that we have the 5 members that they spent 2 or 3 meetings on these
Wednesday.
applications, yeah.
Sure, so my question to you is, and this is, I put it online tomorrow, I'll redo the ad to have a deadline of March 15th, send it to the Beacon. Do you want me to send letters to everyone who applied, telling them, thank you, but we have decided to go out a second time? Do you want that, encourage them to apply again? How would you like to handle that? We thank you for your application and wish you well in your future endeavors.
I do. That's what I would say.
Okay.
I don't know if the committee had, well, if there were other people the committee was interested in, they would have reached out to them, I would have assumed.
do you want them to apply again?
Why waste their time?
I
and
guess
your
they
time?
could, I guess they could if they wanted, but we're gonna just send a letter that says, just say that the town decided to,
Basically,
Repost.
after review of
Yes.
all applications received by the screening committee, the board has, the committee recommended to the board to go out for a second search.
yeah, I don't think we have to say,
Okay.
you know, because I think that alone would tell them that they didn't make that round. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have
Yeah.
to say good luck and you,
Okay.
You
so-
might get a few back anyway,
Yeah,
so, but
we
it's
may.
up to them.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we'll go to 3:15. Do you think there's anything, Nancy, that we could change in the posting? I mean, I've read many, they kind of say the
They all
same.
say the same thing.
Right.
Change the name of the town, the population, that's kind of it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, great.
Maybe we could tell them we have a lot of new restaurants opening in town and they.
We have menus.
And a place to
And a
exercise.
new exercise, new activities in town.
Okay, discussion on, excuse me, interim DPW director. So right now, Butch is officially gone.
Right now, he's using his vacation time.
Okay.
He does have his laptop, he's staying in touch with the office. I have the phone, I get the text message in the morning of what everybody's doing, what their daily routine is. And I went to the DPW this morning, met with Carrie and Mike. Carrie gave me all the bills today, I signed off on all the bills. We'll send them to accounting to be processed. Basically, I asked the process for snow and ice events, or snow, or just an icing event. They're on clockwork. They know it's a seasoned crew down there. Everything's going well. And if we need something, Butch says he's willing to answer any questions at all. But I do think we need to put an interim down there. After I spoke to Mr. Ruccio, I reached out to a couple people that Butch recommended. I have a resume for a gentleman who has retired, former DPW director in a couple of towns, climbing the walls, and he needs something to do. So I could show you his resume. I think you'd be really impressed by his resume. And if you agree, I think it would be nice if the board could meet, have a special meeting before FISP next week, 6:15. We can interview this person and see where we go.
Any discussion on that? I just, I think it would be good to get a new set of eyes on the department. This gentleman's has experience, and then we can post, then we can start the process of posting it.
We will.
Exactly what we need.
Yeah, what I did was I took the ad from last time, I sent it to Butch, and we updated it slightly, and it's in your agenda packet. If that works for you, we'll go forward with the process.
Now, if we were to add something to do with facilities, could that be changed, or do we have to get some approval? Remember last time we needed to change the qualifications for the job, we needed to go to
Yeah, but
Boston? That's
was-
different.
That was different.
Okay, so just changing that we want this person to have some facility background, that can be added without a problem?
I don't see why it couldn't be added.
Okay.
So I'd make a motion to have a discussion next week with the interim, interview with the interim DPW director that you have the resume for.
Okay.
We have a motion, and do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, do you have any comments?
I just, so in the posting that Nancy's got, or going to be doing, would that be before this takes place? The posting is for the actual position, not for the interim,
That's
correct?
right, yes.
Okay.
The interim, we can just have someone come in a couple days.
He can.
He may not come in,
Yes.
he's gonna come in a couple days a week.
I think we ask him what he thinks, how many
Yeah.
days he thinks he needs to be, 2, 3?
He has some restrictions in restrictions in his retirement.
Yes, because he's a
himself.
retiree,
Yep.
but because I spoke to Butch, we went over this, Butch knows the guy, and he seemed to think that, 3 days would be all that would be needed.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure people understood that the interview is separate from the posting that we're talking about.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay, any other discussion?
I do like to know what the board thinks about the current foreman as an intern.
I think we should bring in someone from outside, to look over the department. That's my thought. I mean, the board can say something different. To take his time, he has experience, and then we can post the position, and we know this gentleman's not going for it. So that's a good thing, to have an interim in there that's,
I talked to the foreman, and he thought it was a good idea to get an interim in there, and interim director also.
okay, so I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, review and improve advertisement. What is that?
What?
It's in your packet
Oh, for the,
for the DPW director
Okay.
position.
Like I said,
do we want to wait till we put the interim on, and then maybe we want to post it right away? Have him give us, maybe he can,
What I can do is, I can have a conversation with this gentleman and tell him that this is what we're doing, and would he mind taking a look at the ad that we're putting in, and if he would like to comment on it.
And if we want, we can talk about at the next selectmen's meeting Wednesday night, if we wanted, and we can put it in then. If he, give it to him before and have him look at it.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Well, what's wrong with if you put both at the same time? So the intern won't be interested? That's what you are thinking?
Interim,
If you post the DPW director job posting at the same time as the interim job posting, what's going to be the?
we're not gonna post the
I'm not
interim.
posting an interim
Oh,
position.
oh, yeah,
We're not gonna
okay.
post the interim.
Right,
So why don't we post the DPW director job posting now?
because the two members of the board are saying that they would like another set of eyes to look at it.
Oh,
For
okay.
the facilities, I think it's important for us, we have an opportunity to put a facilities manager with a DPW.
I think,
I think it's a perfect fit,
I think we may have an opportunity that we might want to discuss as well.
yeah. So that's why.
So is this posting, I'm looking at it quickly, did you put something about facilities in it?
I didn't on this one. This is the one I went over with Butch.
So why don't we see if we can, I guess we can talk about it on the Wednesday, would 6:15 will probably be
6:15
enough
next
time,
week,
huh?
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Okay. The employee survey, do we want to put that, did everybody have a chance to look at it, or do we want to put that off till the next meeting?
Honestly, I didn't get a chance to look at it.
Okay, so why don't we put that off till the next meeting, Nancy, end of whole business? And now, your updates, Nance.
Sure. The first thing I wanted to update you on is the legal expenses. We're now, we have an ongoing situation in town, and as of the end of December, we're 50.78% of our FY19 budget has been expended. But just wanted to let you know that we're spending a little more at a rapid pace now than we had been. We're also starting the second phase of the I&I plan with Weston and Sampson that we signed up on. And this phase is going to cover the sewer manhole inspection program, and manholes will be repaired and inspected. The cost of this phase is $72,000, and the funds are in the capital line item of the sewer department budget. Update on capital.
And just one second, in regards to legal, what was that
It's,
up to? When was that percentage?
this is as of December, the end of December. We budgeted 80,000, and we've been trending low, but
So
now
about-
we're over 50% through 6 months.
So any money that we've spent in regards to the host agreements and things like that?
Those are not
Those
on
are not
this,
in here,
no.
because they're being broken out of that.
Those are
money.
broken out. Usually, we're like, we usually get our bill well into the second month. Like our January bill will probably get the end of February.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
The Capital Investment Board met last night with the Finance Committee. They're underway with their process. They're going to have everything reviewed, and I know that you had a timeline to get all the capital. They're well on their way. They have established their liaisons. They're meeting with the various departments, and I think that's, I think it's all going smoothly. Another thing that we did is last year, you may remember, we received a municipal vulnerability grant. I got a phone call from CMRPC that apparently the grant expires on June 30th, and we need to get started on it, and I'm thinking, boy, there's a lot of these June 30th deadlines. So anyway, I sat down and I met with them, and they walked me through the process that we need to do. I need to put a core team together. I identified my core team. It's in my memo here. It's going to be the town administrator, a representative of the planning board, Conservation Commission, Fire Department, Police Department, the DPW, Department of Conservation and Recreation, the school, Board of Health, and a representative of the Board of Selectmen. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to have a kickoff meeting. But I wanted everybody to know what was required before they signed up for this, with dates. So the first thing we're going to do is it's a kickoff meeting here at Town Hall. The meeting's going to be on Thursdays, the fourth Thursdays, and that way it doesn't conflict with any other board and committee. So this will be February 28th, 1-hour meetings here at Town Hall. The second meeting will be March 28th from 6:30 to 7:30. CMRPC is going to come out, and basically they're going to get us ready for our one-day session, because then we have a workshop. I don't know if any of you went to the SWOT meeting we had. It was strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to the town. And then we came up with the list of priorities for the master plan. This was an all-day session that we had at the school about 8 years ago. I think it was about 8 years ago when Leon was here. And this workshop that we have at the end, once we finally put together and identify our projects, then we're able to, next January, there's a grant funding round, and we'll be able to apply for grants. We have some areas, like there's a pipe up by Pinecroft that continues to overflow because it's too small. These projects that we identify, we'll be able to apply for grant monies, and rather than using our Chapter 90, we can fund them through these grant funds. So I need one member of the Board of Selectmen to be the designee of the board on the core team.
Nominate Mr. Rucho.
I second it. No, yes.
This sounds like fun, this.
Well, this is gonna be quick. We gotta get this wrapped up.
Okay, unless Siobhan wants it.
I'll go right ahead. I gladly let you attend these.
I think,
Mr. Rucho.
I don't know if Pat would probably be interested in something like this.
Yeah, the 20,
During tax season.
test testing, I'm sure he would love it.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Yes, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye, no.
And just an update on the community survey. On Friday morning, we had 338 surveys completed. We are encouraging residents to go on the website. You can get paper copies at the library or at Town Hall and at the senior center, and you can drop your copies off at any of those locations. And when you go to the website, people are calling and they're saying you can't access it. You have to actually click on the word "here." So when it says "click here," you have to put it on here, and then you can access the,
I just want to say I did it, so everybody should be able to do it.
you can do it on your
stuck on any of the
phone,
questions. No, I
your
didn't.
tablet. Yeah.
And I'd just like to just tell the townspeople, the last time we did this was what, 10 years ago?
Oh, it was almost 20.
Or maybe 20 years ago. And we still today, we're at meetings and people say, last time we did the survey, this is what the residents wanted. So it's very important. This is a great turnout so far, but this is very important. It takes all of probably 5-10 minutes at the most to do it. Go fill out the questions, leave comments. We're getting a lot of response. So just because it's going to be used for years to come, people are going to say, you remember that survey we did that they said they want to do this, so I just say, let's,
How much more time, Nancy, we have?
It's on till the end of
March.
February? Is it March 1st that it's turned off?
that
think
rings
it's
a bell.
March
but I have
1st.
to check, yeah.
Yeah. And on Saturday, January 19th, I went to Boston to the MMA trade show to represent the town at the annual business meeting for Maya. They had an award ceremony, and we received an award for our risk management efforts. This is actually our 5th award that we have received at the town. And another thing that this is a first for us. They actually wrote us up and highlighted us in their annual report. We're one of six towns that were highlighted for risk management services. They brought a whole crew out here and they filmed us. We had a safety committee meeting, so I'll let you see this afterwards, and it's just, this is the safety committee. We were hot on our dealing with the new OSHA regs and getting everybody where they needed to be, so they got a lot of action shots of us in action, and very proud of the safety committee and all the work they've done.
I want to say congratulations to, because I'm sure Nancy did most of the work for the,
That should be
MA.
Nancy's award.
Exactly, so,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And it is March 1st. Midnight on March 1st is the last, the online will end, so.
Thank you.
Okay. First update on the senior center. I don't
We
think,
are getting close, they're supposed to start up the pump house today, so we have, protection, and, within a couple of weeks of finishing.
it really looks inside like a completed building. you know?
Exactly, yeah.
Things are covered because you can't put tools or anything on them because it's the final product, so.
Any grand opening day?
We haven't got that far.
Yeah, we haven't decided, we haven't got an official date yet, so. Next is invoices, C&B Associates invoice number 5911 for $8,082.50.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion, a second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? RAC Builders Incorporated invoice number 9 for $358,904.
So moved.
What?
$358,904.
Oh, okay.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? The next item is concurrence on the appointment of Matthew Rail of Boylston to the position of Special Officer to work details from January 22nd, 2019, for a term to expire on June 30th, 2019, at a rate of $48 per hour.
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye, opposed. Next is meetings and invitations. Reminder that the Gateway Sign Adoption Program is underway.
Yeah, and we're gonna, we have a second sign coming very soon, and we encourage anybody that wants to advertise on it to put their name in the drawing, and we'll be drawing it, let's see, March 24th? It was last Monday in March.
Okay.
Whatever the last Monday in March was.
25th.
25th?
That's by that day, if you want to.
That the economic development's gonna draw, for the two signs, because we're gonna have the one sign in front of Steve's Pizza, the other sign's gonna be on 140, heading into, from Boylston into West Boylston.
Okay. Announce that there are 2 island squares available under the board's beautification of town squares and islands policy. The cement island at Maple Shrewsbury Street and the island at Crescent and Thomas Street. So if anybody's interested in that, they can contact the town administrator's office. Then on March 23rd at the town hall, we will host all hands for Andrea. Learn CPR and save lives. To register, call 774-450-3523. Classes will be held throughout the day at the town hall. Okay. Is there anything else that came up, Nancy, in regards to invitations or meeting? Future agenda items or selectmen's reports? And maybe.
I have nothing.
You have something?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Rucho. There's been some conflict rumors out there in town, and I just want to set the rules straight. I am not running again for selectman. After 13 years of being on different boards in this town, I feel it's time for somebody else to step up. I have seen people that have taken out papers, and I really am very happy to see that there's some new people coming in. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to contact me. I have enjoyed my time here, but I do feel after at least 13 years that it is time to let somebody else come in with new ideas. And I want to thank everybody at this time for all their support throughout the time I've been involved.
You're not quite done yet. A few more.
Close.
Okay, anybody else? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make motion.
Second.
Motion is second to adjourn. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.